Like, as you know, I've worked in restaurants for a very long time, and we've done a thing called mise en place, which is a French word. I don't know exactly what it means, so if you're French, you can put in the comments what it actually means. But basically, mise en place was to prepare your station for the service, so you got everything you need ready for the time where you get very, very busy. So you don't have to go back to the kitchen or the bar or anywhere else to grab something. Everything is available for you, right, within the reach of your hand. So you can be efficient, fast, and you make your life easier for yourself when times get tough. And I recreated that experience in my own editing workflow. You know who I am. My name is Alan from Team Flavour, and this is Billy, just joining the Team Flavour. We came up with an idea for a brand new series where I will share what I've learned running my business over the past 3 years. And for anybody who is a creative and would like to start their own, I think this could be a very enjoyable and beneficial content to listen to, mainly because I tend to speak my mind, and there have been quite a lot of lessons that I learned over the past few years. Since we are on the road and we are going to be filming in the car, we are calling it sharing mileage, and it's simply because not only we're sharing the mileage when we're driving to work and from work with Billy, but also sharing the life experience, the years of experience could be also sharing mileage. So that's the idea. Hopefully you will find this insightful. We'll make it up as we go. At this point of time, this is just our GoPro camera in the car on the move, but maybe we'll add extra fireworks to the footage, make a nice intro, add some music. We'll see how things go. About the content itself, as I said, it's going to be mainly for creatives who want to have their own business and they don't know where to start, or they have lots of questions. So when you are listening or watching, you can also ask a question in the comments and we'll try to refer to that. We'll be having conversations. It's not just going to be me talking. So hopefully Billy will be asking me questions about different things that might be on his mind that concern a potential business owner, a creative, a freelance professional. Maybe there's something I don't actually know that is potentially an issue, a problem for an up-and-coming person. But since we are all here to do something together creatively, and also at the same time make some money, I think sharing that those experiences will actually bring in value. So I would like to start with the first topic. There will be a long list of topics that we're going to cover over the next few weeks. The first topic that I came up with was actually after the conversation with Billy yesterday. I was saying that I read this quote about entrepreneurship. I don't remember who actually originated this quote, but it says that entrepreneurship is like jumping off a cliff and then building an airplane on the way down. Now, I would build on top of that, and I would say that not only it is jumping off a cliff and building an airplane on the way down. But once you build that airplane, you have to be able to repair and refurbish and maintain the airplane whilst mid-air. You have to clean it. You have to learn how you refuel it, train people to the refueling part is mainly about getting the money so you don't run out of money. So that's like you need to mid-flight find out how you're gonna refuel it. You're gonna need to have people that help you operate it when you are tired, and also you need to put in place processes that that actually make it safe for everyone to be on that plane. So yeah, that's kind of my take on it, and I'm kind of curious what you think about that.
I mean, I like the concept of jumping off a cliff, building a plane on the way down, but on top of that you also don't have a pilot's license and you got no idea how to fly.
Exactly. So if you've never had a business in your life, or you have nobody to follow and that will mentor you or guide you, you kind of have to figure this out by yourself. And because you have limited resources, money and fuel, you most likely will be under a big pressure to figure this out very quickly, or die, because you will not have money to pay for your life, for your bills, for anything that you want to do. So yeah, that's number one thing. You gotta deal with all this pressure. So since I mentioned there's like several things that you have to take care of, one of those that I think is important is, for example, becoming efficient, productive, self-disciplined, and basically able to produce something on time, on regular basis, consistently, to be able to maintain income. And one of the ways to do that is by creating your own system or process where you produce content or creative work, art, whatever that is, you create it consistently. And if you want to do it often and for many clients, you will have to find a way how to create this process. And what I want to do today, for example, with you, Billy, is create a process, because I've been playing with different processes and different ideas, but not actually haven't implemented one, because I was mid-flight. It was just me operating the business and doing the work. So I couldn't really spend my time on creating processes, like how to do specific tasks, and then how to improve it, systematize different things in the business that basically then make my life easier, and also help when I pass the job over to you or anyone else in the team, then it makes the job easier, because everything's already prepared, and it makes more sense, and it's just makes the person learn everything faster, and they're able to find everything faster and more efficiently, and be more productive, and just not worry about figuring it out second time, like I had to figure out first. So for example, we are going to set up a Slack today. Yesterday we set up an email for Billy, so he can use company email. And today we're going to be setting up a Slack, where Slack is basically a software that you use with your team to communicate and organize your tasks and projects depending on different topics and stages you work on. It helps you with productivity, communication, and running everything day to day as a team. And I think what we will focus today mainly on is, for example, we have this recording that we are shooting right now, and we have to take those files, put them in the cloud, create some kind of organized structure for the show itself, and then at the same time we have to communicate when we are not in the same room together. So today we're going to be sitting in the same room together, but on another day when we are not together, we need to communicate about what is already been done and what needs to be done and what better ideas could we have, and we will need to pass each other passwords and data for different login websites. I will, for example, have to produce some kind of PDF document which will help you do your job.
Yeah.
And all that has to live somewhere. So Slack, for example, is one of them, those things. I'm not associated with Slack in any way, but since I've been using this in some other projects, I'm thinking this is a really good tool to use for us too. So yeah, we'll sit down together today and create processes for transferring the files to the computer, uploading to the cloud, and then putting them on YouTube and other platforms. That will help you and me. I was supposed to do all this work and send you the links to everything and access to inspirational videos on YouTube that we want to follow, or like some channels that we want to kind of imitate a little bit. I need to put that somewhere, and I was supposed to do it yesterday. I didn't have time, and I was also quite tired. So today we're gonna sit down and we will put that in a category in Slack called video inspiration. And then anytime you want to refer back to something, you can just tag me, or I can tag you, and you can always come back to that. And if we ever have like a new team member who needs to know what kind of videos we were discussing before that we like and we want to kind of get inspired from, they will be able to find them all there in that little section of Slack.
Basically got a whole library-sized mood board for people to work on.
Exactly. I like the idea of a mood board. So that's what usually like a visual agency would do, like a graphic designer, they would have a mood board. So I like that great comparison. And basically we would have that for this reason, but also there would be others. Like yesterday we talked about company values, and they need to live somewhere, and usually they live on my hard drive, or they live somewhere on like in the cloud, but not really. They're not organized. And the whole point of all this creating this process is just to get organized, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if we can get organized, that will make my life easier, it will make your life easier, and it will create, it will make this flight much more enjoyable, because it's quite stressful if you're not organized. And we creatives actually struggle with being organized sometimes, because the creative chaos, I don't know, you heard about creative chaos?
I've not heard the term, but I can already relate to it.
Yeah, so a lot of creatives, we live in a creative chaos, and that's kind of sometimes can become a source of the inspiration itself.
Yeah.
It can be where people it's like part of their personality, and I not only understand that, sometimes it happens to me that I can have those moments where it's like out of this creative chaos something incredible comes up. But generally speaking, if you want to have a business where you want to be professional and you want to consistently produce work and get paid for it, you do need some degree of organization. So I'm going to tell you about the tool that I discovered through a client of mine and a friend. It's basically a tool that helps you organize your calendar and your appointments. It's called calendly.com, and again, I'm not associated with them either, but basically it's like a web software which allows you to connect your Google Calendar to its interface. And basically what you do is whenever you need to make an appointment with a client or anybody, you just send them over a link and they get to pick your availability, your dates that you're available, the times, the dates, and basically you're able to, since you can synchronize this with your Google Calendar, you can make those work together seamlessly, and it makes your life easier to then meet people and be efficient with sales calls or anything that you're doing where you have to spend time with people and make sure you meet together. So that's super helpful, and it's just another way to keep yourself organized, efficient, save some time, because in the end your time is the most valuable thing, and you'll learn this. Maybe at the beginning it will be hard for you to know that this is the number one thing that you have to care about, but yeah, it's your time. And I was going to ask you what you think about time saving in video production, for example.
Yeah, so the thing that always comes to mind when talking about efficiency and time saving in terms of the different stages of video production, editing is one where there's so many things you can learn that speed things up, and the number one thing will always be folder structure. If you can get a solid folder structure from the get-go, then that will not only make the process easier for yourself the whole way along, constantly knowing where you're going to be getting your sound effects, where you're going to be getting your clips, where's your audio, your music. It will also make life easier for the people you're working with.
Yeah,
if you have an easy to follow structure, then they know where to look for whatever they need.
Well, I have the same thought. I actually figured it out after I think maybe 6 months of very, very chaotic editing, where something would take me 20 hours. I would realize that there are some tasks that I'm doing that are quite repetitive, and I could save myself time and effort, maybe sometimes out of laziness. I think it's also the fact that if you're feeling a little bit lazy and you can't be bothered to do those tasks, you can actually do them once, put them in the folders that you're going to use in the future, and basically, like, through creating an organized structure, you are making your life easier, and you kind of using your laziness to your own advantage. But at the same time, it makes you look like a pro, because you just created yourself a system and you saving yourself time and you're productive, you're effective, and you make life easier for yourself and other people. So yeah, that's a very useful thing in video production, and I learned this from the restaurant industry. Like, as you know, I've worked in restaurants for a very long time, and we've done a thing called mise en place, which is a French word. I don't know exactly what it means, so if you're French, you can put in the comments what it actually means. But basically, mise en place was to prepare your station for the service, so you got everything you need ready for the time where you get very, very busy. So you don't have to go back to the kitchen or the bar or anywhere else to grab something. Everything is available for you, right, within the reach of your hand. So you can be efficient, fast, and you make your life easier for yourself when times get tough. And I recreated that experience in my own editing workflow.
Yeah.
And I'm also doing that in like even like iCloud storage, where I keep my portfolio files and like all the other stuff that I'm using on regular basis. I would put them all, even packing my backpack. If you have a system of how to pack your backpack, you'll never forget anything, because you're prepared, and I would say that's also the mise en place. You're prepared. So when the time comes and you need your equipment, you need your tools, you need to access your files, you know where they are, and you're ready to go. You're just a pro, you're turning up and you're starting to work. So that is a really good thing to do. So as I said, today is all about processes and putting things in place to become more than just a chaotic artist. Some people are scared that they are going to lose their artistic, creative soul by getting organized, and some people do. They become robots because they overdo it, and they have everything is organized, and they don't leave any room for breathing and they don't leave any room for thinking and trying things out. So that's not always a good solution. So you just gotta kind of be mindful. Like, what am I doing? What I'm doing right now is, important? Is it gonna help me, or is it going to actually take away the creativity out of what I'm doing? But generally, what I found is you can stay creative, but at the same time, you can learn how to become better at what you do, because when you actually take care of that, you will be able to create more of that beautiful art or creative work that you want, which is ultimately what we want. If you're just better and faster and more efficient, you're going to just do more awesome work.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking. And since we're reaching the destination, I'm going to wrap it up. Basically, today is about improving, your processes and your workflow, and maintaining that airplane mid-flight. It's not easy. It's a little bit nuanced. There's no right or wrong, but it's good to think about those things. And it's a little bit funny that you have to do it whilst you produce work to pay yourself, but you have to, and there's no other way. So with that a little bit of irony, I would say you still gotta do it, and that's why we talk about this. So that's all from me for now, and I want to say thank you very much to you for taking time to listen to us, and hopefully we can see you in another one. So all the best, have a great day, and until next time.